do a little response to Fishy's video from this morning, focusing on the GSR. I've made some videos telling people, hey, don't bail out of your loser stack and take a loss just because you want to stack something else. The not loser stack, what you wish you would have done different stack or whatever. But I do think it's pretty cool. It's kind of interesting when people just trade back and forth. They trade back and forth. That's what International Stacker talks about, that he had done for years to really grow his stack, was just trade back and forth depending on the GSR. And essentially at some point in time you're getting free gold, and then when things switch, you do it and you're getting free silver. What do you guys think about that? You're always buying the loser metal. You're buying the cheaper metal, and then as your stack builds up, you may do a big swap based off of the GSR. Maybe you're trading a bunch of silver for gold, and then another time when it's flipped, you're trading all your gold for a bunch of silver. I mean, you really can. I mean, if you want to sit and do that, which is probably pretty smart to do, you really can. I mean, you're getting free metal. That's kind of how I look at it. I've never done that. Not because I don't think it's a good idea. I just haven't done it. I've thought about it. I've just never wanted to stop and gather up a bunch of stuff and go do it, to be honest with you. But I mean, if you want to just consistently get free metal, you're either getting free silver, or, especially when GSR is way off one way or the other, you're getting, either free silver or you're kind of getting free gold. It's just a constant deal. If you're constantly buying, just having willpower and buying the loser metal at the time, buying the cheaper stuff, and then building up, let's say, and then when the GSR gets way out of whack, bam, you go swap out. What do you guys think about that? How many of y'all do that versus just, when you're buying gold and it gets up there crazy, you go sell it, you go cash out. What about going and trading it and walking away with a bunch of extra silver? I don't know. If you guys think about it, let me know. Let me know in the comments. That's strategic stacking. It's cool. It's a smart thing to do. I'm pretty sure it's International Stacker that does that quite a bit, if I'm not mistaken. There's probably a bunch of people, but who talks about it on Facebook? I think it's him and some others. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty smart, especially when you're buying the loser metal, or whenever you're buying whatever's down. If you'll just buy kind of, the easiest to trade, something that all the dealers are kind of hopping on 24/7, like, Silver Eagles and things like that. That just makes it easier for you. If you got real specialized, who's the one with the chest, the silver stasher. If you got real specialized silver, like silver figurines and all that stuff, it's probably a little more difficult just to go run and trade it, for a bunch of gold and vice versa. You can do it, probably a tad more difficult. Nevertheless, guys, what do you think about that? I think that's pretty cool. I've thought about it a few times. When your stack gets so kind of significant, you've been at this for years, and you've got, hundreds and hundreds of ounces of gold and thousands of ounces, you can't just go trade everything. But you could say, hey, this percentage, you can go if you want to, but it's a lot of work, a huge amount of work. But like physical labor, and for me, it feels like. But you can go, you could pick a percentage, or just, hey, this kind of silver I'm gonna go trade, because the GSR is, in silver's favor, let's say, or this kind of gold, I'm gonna go trade in for silver because of the GSR. Or you can do it all. It's whatever you guys want to do. Or you could do it if your stack's not huge, or you're just getting started. Do it. You can do it until your stack gets so big that It's just inconvenient. It's not feasible to go do that, or you're having to go to a bunch of different coin shops because because you're wearing out this one coin shop. That's a situation I get into. I got to keep multiple coin shops going, because when you really start dropping bombs, some of these little coin shops can only handle so much. Now, if you'll notice, when you're, I've told them before, I don't like this. When you're buying, they can handle it all. They can handle it all. But if somebody wants to come in and do a bunch of selling, or maybe a bunch of trading, or something like that, oh well, we can only handle some, we can only blah blah blah. But but if you're coming in there, I've never heard them say that when you're buying. I've seen them get bought out of a certain thing, and oh no, don't worry, I'm gonna order it. I'll get on the phone right now and order it right in front of you. You go ahead and pay for it. I mean, you can't wear them out when you're buying, but you can wear them out, when you're selling or when you're trading. So you might kind of watch them. You kind of, just a tad bit, you might call them out on that, because, I'm like, hey, what's up with that? Well, what's up with that? That, I don't know. That kind of bugs me a tad bit. But coin shops come down to, they're just humans is what it comes down to. It's the guy running a little shop usually. Nevertheless, guys, let me know what you think about that on the, flipping the stack. Consistently flip it. That's a heck of a strategy. If you don't get attached to your metals and all that, and you just let them go. If you don't get attached to those, whatever you wanted, for so long, you wanted those, you wanted to have 5 1-ounce Gold Britannias. Can you go just get rid of those? Well, like the 1000A radio did. He was so into those Centenarios, and he got rid of them for platinum. That was probably hard for that guy to do. Especially on YouTube, that kind of became, a little bit his identity, I guess you would say, or a tad bit, I guess you would say. But, can you do it? But this stuff, you can just go right, you can go get it back, guys. It's like selling your let's say Softail Harley Davidson versus selling your one-of-a-kind custom chopper. Harleys are, if you can't afford it, something's going wrong, sell it, a couple years, get the new version of it. They pump them off. They're a dime a dozen. You can go get you another one. That custom, maybe, that's probably a lot harder, because that one-of-a-kind chopper that you built or had custom built or something like that. Nevertheless, guys, not to get way out there in left field too much, I just seen Fish's video, and it got me to thinking, what do you guys think about flipping, pop, just trading up, basically. Trading up. You can sort of kind of stack for free doing that. I've seen a lot of people do it. Yeah, guys, let me know in the comments. You guys have a great Monday. Stack Daddy out of here, guys.